Well, hello guys, and welcome to the biggest build-off you guys have ever seen. Probably not. 6 channels, 6 builds. Yes, we have Hodges Hot Wheels and Diecast, Matchbox Restorations, Matchbox Garage, Tony's Diecast Restos, and we Little Cars Time Rider, and obviously myself, but who counts me in. We are all doing constructions vehicle, and we're going to do this once a month on the 1st of every month. So the videos will be uploaded today on the 1st of May, but the upload time will vary between channels. So I am doing the 48C Dodge dumper truck, a really bent, it's a banana, you can see, I like bananas, but not with my Matchbox cars. It's also really shiny. This model came out in 1967 and was produced till 1969. So first let's drill out the rivets and try not to get blinded by this chrome looking plastic base. So 1 in the front and 2 in the back. Being really careful not to drill to the fragile base, I guess. So to release the base you actually have to take out the front axle. No, you don't. You have to take out the both rear axle, but I'm just going to take all the axles. How I do it, I just place a finger on the other side of the axle, not putting any pressure on it, so the axle can still spin freely. And then just take my Dremel and take off the little metal edge that holds on the wheels. After that, you can just pull off the wheels and repeat the process on the other axles. Now, I did manage to find some replacement wheels from a parts vehicle I had, because these were just destroyed. You can see the car is bent, the wheels are bent, everything is it's horrible. So next, with a little bit of force, I can take off the base, put it aside, take out the window, a little bit scratched up, but we can probably polish that out. And now let's get the bent bed of the bent frame. Ooh, that was a lot of bees. So how I do it, I again take my Dremel and just Dremel off the little head of the the post that's holding on the bed. After doing that, I can just push it right through with a little bit of well, it didn't went that smoothly, but oh well. After I got it out, it just slides out, and I can release the bed from the chassis. So now you can actually see how bent this thing is. So first order of business, we need to bend this thing back into shape. No, I'm not a body guy at all. I don't have the proper tools, so I use the hammer. Yes, I'm the Jeremy Clarkson of Matchbox Restorations. No, don't worry, spoilers, it did not leave any dents in the finished model. So as you can see, I just tried to put some shape back into it, and that's pretty good. So when the front is done, you can also see that the both sides of the bed are bent. So again, bending or hammering these back into shape went actually pretty smoothly. I didn't expect it to go this well, but well, they can't all fail, I guess. So that's the bed gone, not done. Now for the chassis, again hammering, placing it between my vise, trying to bend it, doing a million things to do this, but at this point I noticed that I really need to strip the model of its paint so I can really see how bent it still is, because I can just keep hammering, but the paint is really hindering me. So on the next step, getting the paint off this model. So this usually takes around 30 minutes to 1 hour in a closed container, so I left it for 2 hours, because I don't like to follow the rules. So after about 2 hours I decided to take off the paint, that was a really stupid thing for me to say. So I take my own toothbrush and start brushing off the loose paint. After that I take my mom's pajama pants and just remove the remaining paint stripper and loose paint. After that I take a piece of Scotch-Brite and just sit down for about 2 hours, getting every single bit of paint off. Now as you can see, the back is still a little bit bent, but I can live with this. I spent probably an hour trying to fix it, sand it, and just trying to put some kind of shape in it. And as you can see, there were a couple hammer marks, but not really noticeable. So for primer, Nick, attention, thank you. For primer, I'm using a fine surface primer by Tamiya in white. In total, I applied 2 coats to the base and to the bed, leaving between 30 minutes to 45 minutes between coats to dry. After I applied the first coat to the model itself, I move on to the bed, which gets, again, 2 coats. Now this was a little bit harder because you really need to see that you get some primer and obviously the paint between those rivels, that's not even a word, between those thingies on the side, and obviously don't build up too much paint inside the bed. After the primer dries, I apply the red Tamiya paint. Again, 3 coats in total, leaving between 35 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes to dry between coats. After the bed, do the same to the chassis. So I really hope you all enjoying the 6 videos. They will all be released at different times. So if you can't find the video yet, it's probably just not uploaded yet. But please leave in the comment section down below what you think about every video. So now for the base. I've found some chrome paint, so I decided to paint it chrome. Some of these dollar store home decoration spray. Yes, it's lovely. So adding in the details, starting with the yellow side markers in the front. Kind of side markers. Well, it's close enough. Next, we move on to the door handles, doing them in the usual chromish, metalish, grayish, paintish. So the driver door and the passenger door. And the Dodge logos on the side get the same coat of paint. Again, this is my favorite process, this favorite step of every restoration and customization is adding in these little details that just make the model stand out. Now for the reassembly. Also, I added 2 coats of clear coat to the model. I didn't really show it on camera, but I never do. So for the reassembly, first let's take my axle, and Nick, you forgot the wheel. The wheel. Thank you, good boy. So let's take my wheel and axle, put it through. Get a wheel on the other side, and how I usually do it, I just take my vise, crimp the axle between my vise, just to create a crimped end, just like this. Then it's time to reassemble the bed to the chassis. Now the original stud was way too short because I just grinded off the base, the head, so I decided to just make a new one out of a spare axle I had. Pretty much the same process, just applying the bed to the chassis, just sticking the new axle through and crimping it between my vise. Nice and easy. So I decided this was a little bit too long, so I take my tweezers again, cut off a little bit more, and that's just the right size. Now for the rest of the reassembly, I just take the windshield, then put the base back into place. It just snaps back into place, and it will be held in by the rear axles. Speaking of, we just stick the first axle in and putting the wheel on the other side, and obviously do the same to the last axle. And we have a completed model. So let's take a look at it. Before the restoration, all bent up like a banana. I like bananas. And let's take a look at it after. I really enjoyed this restoration. Please leave a like, subscribe, and obviously leave your opinion in the comment section down below. Bye.